The 2024 WWE Draft has come and gone, and the most exciting thing about it was a Super Bowl MVP. Brock Lesnar is listed on WWE's website as a free agent. Do we smell a comeback? And they're throwing stones at The Rock, saying he was late at WrestleMania, saying he's late to movie sets. There's something going on. This is the Spandex Standups.
How you feel, bud?
I feel great. Great to be here.
Yeah, good to
Spandex
have you.
Stand-Ups.
Yeah, bold. Yeah.
Feeling great.
I love it, man.
How are
Having
you
a good
doing?
week so far?
Great week. Great week of in-ring action. We're doing another Wednesday episode.
Yeah.
Which means
Gotta
we
watch
watched
NXT.
NXT.
And boy, was it a good episode to
was
catch.
it a good one last night.
Oh
Yeah,
man, we definitely got your NXT updates coming. We got so much to talk about, man. The draft is come and gone. Like you said, not a whole lot to talk about. But we're gonna talk about it anyway. We're gonna talk about how there's not a lot to talk about.
Well, I think first off, I want to ask you, what do you think about Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, basically removing himself? First off, what do you think of the move? What do you think it says about when he's returning? And when he does return, do you think he stays a free agent or do you think he stays to one brand?
I think it's smart because it moves him into that Brock Lesnar position where he can have the title. He can be interesting without the title. He can take over that, still being up on that pedestal. You know, like, yeah, he lost his title, but after how many days? You know, so I thought it was a genius idea. If he's not in the immediate plans, go ahead and remove himself from the draft board. Him going somewhere doesn't help his position at all. You know what I mean? Like, there's no new story to tell right now.
Right.
You know, like, they need to build some groundwork with this Solo and the new bloodline, and then, so genius idea on WWE's part in removing the tribal chief from the draft when he's not in the foreseeable future plans. What did you think about him? And I mean, I love that Heyman's still on, because that was my problem with Heyman with Lesnar, is when Lesnar wasn't on TV, Heyman wasn't on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now Roman's gone, but Heyman is still on TV, entertaining the masses like he should be.
Yeah, I think it's a great move. It sets up a lot of possibilities for when he returns and how he returns. And, you know, again, they said that when he returns, the story's going to blow our minds.
I love
it.
I think they're going to get even more into the tradition and the history of their family if it's bloodline versus bloodline.
I think they're going to do that. And I think a lot of stuff is going to come out. Like, I think a lot of things are going to be revealed.
Yeah, speaking of things coming out, you had some news about The Rock for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what is going on.
I did see the rumblings of he was late.
There have been some headlines going around. You know, it all started maybe yesterday or the day before. I saw some headlines. He's got a movie that I think is supposed to come out with Ryan Reynolds called Red One.
Okay.
Maybe it's a sequel to like one of their Netflix movies or something.
All right.
But it basically said that, you know, Ryan Reynolds confronted The Rock on set about his lateness, which is interesting because if you guys have followed the Fast and Furious franchise and you have followed the real life feud between The Rock and Vin Diesel, you know that The Rock confronted Vin Diesel about being late and the way that he was behaving. So they're saying that's what was going on there. And then a few other things, you know, that, you know, someone said that he peed in a water bottle so that he didn't have to like run to a bathroom. Cause you know,
that's hilarious.
Because when you're late, you're keeping.
Did someone drink that water bottle?
You're keeping
what are people upset
longer.
about?
Well, no, people are upset that he asked his assistant to throw it away. Again,
what is an assistant for? Really?
On one hand, you're looking at someone where you're like, this is a guy that's works so hard. He's like, I literally don't want to leave set. I just want to like work. What's the quickest way to remove urine from my body?
Yeah.
On the other hand, they're saying, well, he's doing that because he's 6 hours late. and he's kept people overtime,
okay.
and it's selfish.
I mean, there are a lot of variables to
And then
if that's a problem or not.
And then, as you know, he was late to his appearance at WWE World by about 2.5 hours in Philadelphia.
That did help his cause, because that's facts. You
Yeah,
know, people know that.
And he came out there, and he ended up turning it into a great heel moment. But there are rumors, again, that he was late to his WrestleMania rehearsal. Which, if you know
Randy, a lot of people sitting around.
Which, if you know Randy Orton's story, you know he full-blown missed his rehearsal with The Undertaker. And that's never what you want to do.
Undertaker would love that.
But here's what's happening. WWE is coming out. I believe the studios are coming out defending The Rock, saying this is not true. But there's clearly something going on. It feels like
going after The Rock.
Folks seem to be going after The Rock, and could this be a little Vince McMahon action behind the scenes?
Well, let's go ahead and get into some news up top, because we got some McMahon news. Might as well go ahead and get into it.
Let's talk about it.
McMahon sells all his TKO stock, around $500,000 or $750,000.
It is a cold day in hell.
He has zero affiliation with the product,
and potentially,
or the company,
and potentially
the company that owns the company,
and potentially his family members that are still involved in the company.
Yeah,
I mean, Stephanie is back. We saw her at the draft.
I mean, immediately.
Yeah,
like as soon as he was gone, she was back.
We know there isn't any Vince McMahon getting through Stephanie and into corporate. We know that is.
It's not happening. And no. Tony Khan's put all of his stocks up for sale.
Yeah. We got to talk about.
Ooh, slip there.
Interesting. Well, you did bring up Tony Khan, who did have some choice words about the WWE
he did
on the NFL draft. But no, let's go
back. Kudos to him, though, for wearing the neck brace. I do like that.
Kudos to him for wearing the neck brace. You know, he did call WWE the Harvey Weinstein of professional wrestling. Which
that was
too much, too far.
Too far, bro.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What is you accomplish?
What are you trying to accomplish? WWE has shown that they want to work with other people. They'd be willing to work with you. But when you come out here looking like Jimmy Neutron grew up, and I say this with all due respect
to Jimmy Neutron.
No, I like everything about AEW for the most part. I like Tony Khan. I just don't get some of these moves. It's not good for business. It's not good long term.
Yeah.
But going back to...
But it's also what Vince and WWE would have done back in the day.
And going back to Vince McMahon selling these shares, there's a lot of people that are speculating that Vince McMahon is going to make one more play in the professional wrestling game. And I think he'd be stupid to do it. I don't know how many people would work with him. But how funny would it be if he bought AEW...
or TNA.
And all the wrestlers that he deemed, undesirable past their prime... Now he's like, let's do a... I don't see it happening, obviously.
Man's 76 years old. Does have a 1-year non-compete clause.
And really...
They just deem non-competes illegal, so I don't know how he's
And really, I think what's going on here is he's going to need that money to settle. I think Vince McMahon will probably be able to settle...
all these lawsuits.
Most
and
things.
And just die alone.
But I think that's why he needs the money. I don't totally see him getting back in the professional wrestling game.
Stay gone, bro.
Just watch how good WWE has gotten from your couch, and
just take your what's left of your kudos. You did build this. You are the reason.
You're very
we have
rich.
The thing I love. I'll give you that.
Go to Greece.
A terrible human being. It caught up to you. Go away.
Go to Greece. Live a life. Get out of here.
Eric Rowan has signed. It's out there. He's signed a WWE deal.
Yeah.
Another glitch last night.
A lot of glitches. Something's going on with WWE production. Maybe they should see if they've been hacked.
The glitch this week led to a Post-it note that said, "You remember who we are."
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
Drew McIntyre signs his new deal, was presented with a sword from The Rock.
Yeah, very interesting. And, it's cool to see that The Rock is out here getting involved in contract negotiations. This is exactly what...
This is how he can carry on the character when he's not on camera. And I love that.
Exactly, and this is also something that Triple H said about why The Rock is so important is, he can speak wrestler. So when a wrestler's like, here's what's wrong with my contract, The Rock can be like, yeah, I get that.
But sucks for you.
But also, like, this is a business. So here's a sword.
Yeah. Sign the damn deal.
And, thanks for
coming out.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah, no, but very cool moment for Drew McIntyre. Glad to see him back. And he should be very excited. I think he's being seen in the best light possible right now. I think he's being the most honest on the microphone. He's
had a fantastic appearance on the Pat McAfee show today.
Oh, he did?
Stayed in character. Him and Pat went back.
Did he wear the kilt?
He had a kilt on. He said there's nothing underneath it, as opposed to when he's got to be on TV. He said it kills him a little bit inside as a Scotsman to wear something under his kilt. But he's like, but on TV, you don't want to get canceled. But dude does not miss a beat. Like, Pat's dudes were firing off questions at him. Nothing fazed this kid.
Yeah, I mean, he's, going back to Vince McMahon, he was right. The top guy.
The brass ring.
He's the top guy. I mean, really, right now, when you think about another guy that's super interesting without a belt, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that CM Punk and Drew feud.
He's almost more interesting without a belt. You almost want Drew to be suffering.
Drew messed up his elbow. Neither of those guys are cleared, and they're one of the most interesting feuds on Raw right now.
That was a great feud. I mean, them going back and forth. I mean, I love them using
the playing. Oh my God, dude, very fun. So good.
Very fun.
Looks like Vegas came up and stole WrestleMania 41 from Minneapolis. They haven't made it official. Nothing's official yet. Announcement should be coming soon.
And again, thank The Rock for that. I think that's
do you think
Minneapolis, if you're mad that you're not getting WrestleMania, that's the people's champ for you.
Do you think it being cold that first night in Philly hurt other cold places?
No, I think the press kickoff event being so lit sealed the deal.
All right, that's fair.
I mean, the Super Bowl being there, doing that. It's just the Sphere. I mean, let's do a show.
Yeah, everyone wants to do something at Vegas now.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they do some sort of event at the Sphere.
If they did a theatrical match,
or at least Sphere. Put
a Bo Dallas match in the Sphere. I'm sorry, an Uncle Howdy match.
I mean, it would just be there'd be a. No, I don't know if they'd use the Sphere, but in any case,
I'd be probably way too much money.
I mean, if it's in Vegas, I'm going.
Yeah, I might try to hit you up for a press pass. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Logan Paul had a gender reveal wrestling match.
Saw that. Very cool. I'd love to know who those wrestlers were. They looked good.
They were great. The back and forth was amazing.
I feel like they're probably famous wrestlers that were just like.
I tried to. I couldn't recognize them.
Yeah.
I don't know. One guy kind of looked like Amazing Red a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't see him doing that at this point in his career because he's actually a bit higher up in MLW now.
Yeah. So. I was trying to think, like, who's out in LA like that?
It's probably some championship from Hollywood kids.
Yeah.
The championship wrestling from Hollywood. I loved watching that promotion on UPN back in the day. Like, I don't have any of the local shows. Like, that's what streaming's killed is finding some random wrestling show that's on late night on a Saturday, I
mean, that's how I
discovered in love with it.
Dude, I discovered WWE by watching Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was
7 p.m. 7 p.m. on a Sunday.
I was a little bit older generation. We got Saturday morning wrestling. That's when I fell in love with it. Nick Namath is a AAA mega heavyweight champion. That's pretty big.
I mean, he was being held back in WWE. We all knew it. It's a bummer when creative's got nothing for you.
Give that title to any American wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean,
but not any. He's great.
Oh, I'm just saying that's a high accomplishment.
Yeah.
I'm well deserved, and he earned it, and it is huge that an American won that title.
Totally, yeah.
But no, he's having a way better time than Darby Allin getting hit by a bus in New York City.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, crossing the street, got hit by a bus, and then went to a show later that night. Like, not a wrestling show, but like a Broadway show. Like, took a picture of him. He's still got like dried blood on it. He got hit pretty good.
Jeez. That's on brand for Darby Allin.
Right? Broke your foot so you can't climb Everest. So you get hit by a bus in New York City.
That's on brand.
Yeah. Oh, it's my favorite time of the show. It's the main event results from this past week on Main Event. The Creed brothers rumored to be joining Chad Gable, and we'll get into Raw. It furthered that storyline a little bit. Creed brothers defeat Angel and Berto.
Oh, big win.
Yeah.
It's a big win.
Yeah.
I mean, Angel and Berto. I mean, they're high flying kind of.
Yeah. And thank God we'll get into the draft here, but LWO and Legato are
broken. Yeah, separated.
Final Testament and the Pride.
Finally,
love it.
Yeah.
And then the other main event match: Chance and Carter defeat Green and Piper Niven. Chelsea Green, just that she's taken over. Natalia had a underground match, so Chelsea Green had to take over her spot this week.
Yeah.
More NXT recap time. Natalia and Lola Vice got a standing ovation coming through the curtain after underground match last night.
Great.
All the NXT wrestlers giving them props, giving them their flowers. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green showed up. She gets the NXT
Green.
women's match. Women's title match.
Give it to her. Let her have it.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're...
I love this, and I hope it gets more after the draft, is the WWE stars just dropping in NXT. Like, don't stay long. Come in, have a match. You know, OC...
Watch a match, watch a show.
OC had a match with a new debuting tag, or not a debuting, but a new tag team, and OC still won, but that tag team looked great in the loss.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get back to that.
Yeah, I'm dropping, like, the Street Profits coming
When you're telling a good story, wins and losses aren't as big.
Exactly.
And I feel like we got into the bad years, the unspeakable years. We leaned way too much into the wins and losses.
Yeah.
You know? And they leaned into it.
Yeah.
You know, if someone was on a losing streak, you knew about it.
Yeah.
And you were reminded of it all the time. And then it almost was like, I don't even want to watch this match now.
Right.
This dude hadn't won in 2 years. What are we out here?
Yeah.
Wesley returned.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Fallon Henley heel turn. I liked that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I'm excited to see. Because I didn't want Thea Hale and JC Jane to keep going. You know, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
But now Thea's got... They must really believe in Thea Hale. Because she's getting, you know, decent profile feud after decent profile
feud. Yeah, I mean, they're putting a lot of steam behind her. So...
Just seems like the NXT women as a whole. They're putting
there's a lot. I mean, that women's division right now...
You know how I feel about it.
That women's division right now is, like, on fire.
Well, speaking of which, we get a ladder match for the women's North American title, and I am hyped. Michin came through her name in the mix.
Love that promo that they all cut where they're just all like, boom, 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 boom.
And I honestly don't know who's going to win because I thought they were going to give it to, she just got drafted, Kiana James.
Yeah.
I thought she was a shoo-in for the NXT title. She's going to put it in her purse, you know, all that good stuff, but...
No, someone else.
She moved up to the main roster, so now we get it. All right, let's get into. You want to do Raw or SmackDown first? Dealer's choice.
SmackDown.
Carmelo Hayes came out swinging. Got drafted #1 pick. Came out swinging, calling out Cody Rhodes right from the get-go.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good big move. Turning Carmelo Hayes into a legend right there.
I am him.
Cool match. He almost won.
Yeah, he did. He gave him a run for his money. I love matches like that.
Yeah, almost
won. Where
you
know who's going to win, but you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got me there.
I wish it wasn't so, like, Cody's going to hold the belt for a while.
Right. No, and I applaud them for anybody Cody Rhodes faces in the foreseeable future. We know what's going to happen.
I know, and I hate that.
But they got to be entertaining.
I know, and I hate that. I just wish,
I mean, they could pull, wouldn't that be something? They give it we talked about it earlier. Roman removed himself from the draft. Baller move. Solo. I love that they're making this a slow burn for Solo.
Yeah.
He didn't just come out with the jacket and say, I'm in charge, and people be like, you're right. You know? Like, people are like, is he?
It's a slow burn,
Is he in charge? I mean, I'm going to do what you said, but, like, I don't know if you're in charge.
Yeah.
So I like that people are like, I don't know if I got to listen to you or not.
Yeah. Totally. And the fact how much he's talking, it's like he never talked this much.
Yeah. And I know, and, you know, the internet's so mean. You know, people... you can't enjoy nothing. This is the best the product's ever been. People still want to be like, Solo sucks on the mic. Give the kid some time.
I mean, it is.
He's been the silent assassin. Let him grow into this role.
It is funny. It does just feel it. What it does feel like is it almost feels like Bloodline 2.
Well, it almost
like we
feels
got
like
Bloodline
Roman.
1.
Yeah, this almost
and this
feels
is
like
the sequel.
With
That's like
different
not
guys.
as like not as good. It's like almost as good. Like
I just found out they had a half baked too.
Yeah, like we're figuring exactly. Like we're figuring it out. We all know the third Bloodline is going to be sick. It's
Sami Zayn's revenge,
and it's Rock. You know, it's
but
Rock,
no one else.
Rock versus Roman. You know,
But they did say rumor swirling around, and I'd be down with it. But Jacob Fatu costing Jay his match.
Cool.
In France.
Al François. They love to debut people live that the audience has no idea who they are.
I love that.
And then the audience leaves pissed.
Because that was cool watching on the Roman doc, the Shield. When you're like rewatching it, you're like, no one knew who they were.
No.
They got no reaction.
Yeah.
But the next night on Raw, when they explained themselves, boom.
Yeah.
Ray and Dragon Lee beat Angel and Berto. Angel and Berto just had a rough week. But then we get the reveal it was Carlito all along.
I like that reveal.
One of those you saw coming, but you're glad they pulled the trigger.
Yeah, and I like how they still got drafted together. They still have to travel.
So now that's the problem. Legato's in the rear view.
Yeah.
They're done with those jabronis.
But now hopefully Carlito can have a real standout feud.
Yeah. Beat the crap out of Ray, man.
Yeah.
So because we're getting Ray and Dominic as soon as Dominic's healed.
You think we're getting that? Yeah.
They put him back on Raw for that reason. I feel like.
I think
now we get Judgment Day, LWO.
I also think we're getting
a million years.
Yeah, I also think we're getting Dominic Andrade.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes, that's going to be interesting with Andrade.
Have they done that yet? No, they haven't.
And LWO. Yeah. KO and Orton strike back versus the Bloodline. Get a little bit of revenge. I like that feud. It keeps all the main event players. And then Toma Tonga comes in against Randy Orton and KO. Like, that's huge.
Yeah, it's interesting what they're doing with Randy Orton right now.
I think he's okay with his role.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to be there that much.
He's like kind of like Brock.
He's like, what am I doing?
This is his.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is his cowboy Brock.
I think him and KO actually enjoy being around each other, and if you got your back fused, how much do you really want to be in there just solo match after solo match?
Yeah. Well, how funny is it when KO does the?
I do. Yeah.
I think Randy loves it.
KO is one of my favorites. Man.
Yeah. I need a KO title run soon. Like,
yeah, they got to give him that. They're giving Sammy the IC run. They need KO to get the title run at some point. I would love a KO Drew McIntyre feud at some point too.
KO versus The Rock for the People's Champ. I'd love that.
Stunner versus Rock Bottom again. Come on,
sick dude.
Naomi and Tiffany put on a pretty good match, and then Bailey and newly smackdowned Nia Jax get into a scuffle that blows into the ring. DQ, good old fashioned slobber knocker. If this is a fatal 4-way, yes please.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey, Tiffany, Nia, Naomi. Not the 4 I'd put together, but I'm interested.
Yeah, Bailey, Tiffany, Nia. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Because we're going to get this week, we're going to get Tiffany and Nia versus Naomi and Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling it now. Good old-fashioned Teddy Long. We're getting a tag match, player.
Yeah. We're getting a tag match.
Which I loved seeing all the... I did enjoy
all
of the legends. Alundra Blaze. I hadn't seen her.
We got Tori.
People are talking about how awkward it was between her and CM Punk.
Yeah.
I think they're just being weird to each other. I don't know. Old friends.
Yeah.
Next week we get RKO show.
The RKO show. Love this.
We also get New Catch Republic versus AOP. That'll be interesting.
And this is SmackDown.
This is on SmackDown.
In France.
Just in France.
SmackDown in France.
We get a good old-fashioned Cody AJ stare down. That never goes wrong. That'll be crystal fine. Which someone pointed out they had one of the first in a long time a contract signing that ended okay.
Yeah.
No one went through a table.
Nobody went through yeah.
What?
Respect.
I love someone put on X, Twitter, whatever. It's like a contract signing that was civil? Nah. Don't believe it.
What do we think happens in this match? Obviously, do we think it's a DQ? Do we think it's a
I'm
clean
hoping, because I want them to protect AJ, and we know AJ's not winning. So I'm hoping we get the old Uncle Howdy family debut.
To go against
That's what I'm
Cody
hoping for.
or AJ.
Because I don't know why they'd let the news come out that Eric Rowan got signed.
Maybe they go against AJ.
I think they attack them
AJ
all. I think they just say, hey, we're here. I didn't even mean to say we're here, but that was cool.
Well, Braun's back, but I guess Braun's going to do his own thing.
Or did they give us a little okey doke and think he was doing his own thing?
Maybe.
Either way, I'm super excited to see what happens. In France.
Oh, France.
We also get A-Town versus Street Profits for the titles.
Would love to see the Street Profits win.
Yes. On Raw, they continued the draft. We get Logan Paul and Pat Mahomes showing up together.
Very cool.
I mean, if you're a prime athlete, you're a prime athlete,
Yeah, and they've got prime athlete, exactly.
I Show
got
Speed
the brand together.
was there.
Exactly.
I love that Logan Paul's kind of having this celebrity entourage.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a celebrity, there's only natural celebrities are in your entourage.
Exactly. The segment with the ring, did you like that?
Attacking Jay, I loved it because of Jay Uso. When Jay got up and was like,
do you think he really hit him? You think that injury was legit?
No.
No.
The way he threw his head back, you could tell. Like, you know how, like, you've seen people legit get hit. Like, you crumble.
I think with those rings, dude.
I mean, you think he accidentally hit him?
I think he could have.
You think he leaned into it too much? I mean, obviously the bruising was makeup.
Yeah.
But you think the after the fact could have been real?
Nah.
I guess we'll see. We'll see what makeup does this week.
Yeah. It was a great segment though. But it also made me feel weird. Like, that's disrespectful to do to those rings. I mean,
but also that was disrespectful to make Patrick Mahomes the heel in his headquarters.
Yeah, but
like if he would have been in their like LA or Vegas, their rivals, then I can see that.
Pat Mahomes is like a Logan Paul bro.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Oh, no doubt. And his family's kind of made him a heel over the
years. Yeah, anyway. He's not rolling with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Gunther gets his first win post-title.
Yeah.
And with Ludwig there.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah. So no Da Vinci, he got drafted to the other brand.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a little bit of Sami Zayn revenge. A little kick in the chops to Gable. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't want Sammy to come out looking weak on this. If he's going to be the champ, be the champ.
Be the champ, Sam.
He got a DQ win over Reed. It looks like that's who's going to be in the
mix.
Intercontinental. Bronson, Sammy, Gable. I do get it. So, I mean, Gable and Sammy, a little smaller guys.
Yeah.
We got to throw a monster in there too. So we get
Break
Bronson
it up.
Reed. And then we touched on a little bit earlier that CM Punk, Drew McIntyre back and forth, cat and mouse. CM Punk obviously getting the better of Drew McIntyre. Yeah. Drew selling it so well, just the anger on his face. You could tell if he could have ziplined to the ring and kicked that man's face in, he would have done it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Drew's just so good right now.
Yeah.
He's so good. He's in his element. He's the perfect anti-hero.
Right, yeah, I think he's the best thing going right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He reminds me, dare I say, of CM Punk's ECW days.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. Candice, which I'm glad we're getting away from them too, because they have other stories to tell. But Candice gets the win over Maxine with the indie distraction. So that furthers her storyline, but then also furthers Maxine's storyline because Gable ripped her a new one for being like, you didn't.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't yet, but you know he's going to. And then Alpha Academy lost their tag team match against Awesome Truth. So I think this is leaning into Creed Brothers. What's going to be interesting is if Ivy Nile screws over her friend Maxine to join this new stable or not with her boys, the Creed Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a nice little layer there.
Yeah.
So much to look out for.
I think that's
dare I say must-watch team.
Must watch.
We get a nice women's title heavyweight scuffle. Liv beat Nia, and then just Tiffany was ringside. Naomi was ringside.
Just chaos.
Love it. Because now we're in that weird time of the draft where everyone's on, like, it hasn't taken effect yet, so no one. can be. No one's really on their brand, so you're getting a mix and match. So Monday after France is when it goes into effect.
Oh, France.
En France. Jey Uso, Ricochet, and Andrade stand tall. Well, I guess Damian got an attack in there.
Yeah, cool match.
Great match. I love those three together.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah.
They look real good.
I like normally when one brand puts all their top faces together, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. But I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, at the end of that match, I was like, was this a video game? And we all just I was like, this is a combination I never thought I'd see.
And it was great.
Yeah.
Andrade, Ricochet working well with each other. Jay getting the crowd hyped at the right time. Jey Uso is fantastic.
Jey Uso.
Yeah. I didn't think splitting the Usos would be good.
Yeet.
Never thought they'd be anything more than tag team. And I love them as a tag team. Love the Usos.
Yeet.
But I didn't want them going on their own. But, man.
Yeet.
Pat McAfee getting on the table, and I'm yeeting over here, Cole.
Yeet. 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 Yeet.
Yeeting all over the place.
Yeah, when I was at WrestleMania, man, everybody was yeeting. I mean, I was at a bar, I walk in, someone's like, yeet. I was walking down the street, someone's like, yeet, and trying to get a bagel. People are like,
so glad
yeet.
They bought the rights to that.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah. That was great. It's one of my favorite segments.
What is it?
Until we eat again.
What is it? Good. What is yeet?
I think it's just like that part.
I'm going to get that yeet down.
I think it just means like what he said. Like, yep.
Yeet. Yeet.
Yeah.
You gonna get this yeet down.
Let's recap the draft. Lackluster at best. A lot of people stayed. If anything, it gave a good SmackDown and a good Raw. We got some legends. We got some developing storylines. We got some storylines we were done with, and WWE picked up on that and moved on. And there's some where they're just getting started, so they're letting that breathe a little bit. I'm glad that they didn't get us hyped about a title picture and then take those people away.
Yeah.
Like we're getting Tiffany, Naomi, Bayley, Nia now in the SmackDown Women's title hunt. And then we got Liv and Becky doing their thing on Raw. Like, keep it that. Like I like that.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing, I like the way the draft was presented, made it feel, legit. We had Pat Mahomes there. He had legends coming out.
And he had some of his linemen with him. I did enjoy that part when his linemen stood up. You protect your quarterback, whether he's right or wrong, or hanging out with Logan Paul, or whatever.
But what I will say is I'd be upset if I was a fan and bought tickets to those shows and saw them live. Not much going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you do think about a lot of the things, the movement that happened with the draft, not a lot. A lot of things remaining the same. Even the commentators were commenting. Well, guys, a lot of these shows are really, a lot are sticking with the superstars they already have. If it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing.
So you can see this is every pick of the draft.
Yeah.
The highlighted ones
are the changes.
Mostly
tag teams, probably.
Most of them are NXT getting called up.
Yeah.
So
again, it felt like it was all for show, which is cool, which is fine. I'm also curious how much we're going to stick to the brands.
Yeah, that's
we haven't been sticking to the brands, so
is Cody just on SmackDown, or are we going to see that dude on Raw in France?
How much are we going to be sticking to these? So it's a cool thing to do, but yeah, it just I was left feeling wanting a little more. But one thing that did come out of it is Brock Lesnar, free agent, and I believe it says that on WWE's draft,
dude. That's insane.
On their website.
He posted a crazy picture of some animal that I don't even know what it is that he killed, and he was hanging from a tree, and he's like, I'm like,
Brock Lesnar's hanging from a tree?
No, he's got the animal hanging and that he just cut the head off of, and I'm like, Jesus, dude. Yeah, he's standing there with his garb on.
Oh, I want to see it.
First pick of the draft, Bianca Belair, Carmelo Hayes. Great 1-2 punch for SmackDown. Jey Uso and Seth Rollins on Raw. Those are their guys. I understand it. We get the call up for Carmelo from NXT. I'm glad he's on SmackDown because we talked about it a little bit last week. I enjoyed those years of SmackDown where it was Eddie Guerrero and Edge and Undertaker and Kurt Angle, like the SmackDown guys.
That was great.
So I'm hoping they're building this again with Carmelo and KO and Randy.
Mm-hmm. That would be great because SmackDown was great then. Like
LA Knight, AJ Styles,
Superstars.
SmackDown guys.
Yeah.
Round 2, we get Orton and Nia Jax going to SmackDown. So Nia freshens up the women's division over on SmackDown. She kind of hit a brick wall, couldn't really get past Becky or Liv on Raw. So I like that she's going over to be a thorn in Bayley's side on SmackDown. And then Braun Breaker and Liv come back on Raw. So Braun gets the call up, which he signed a SmackDown contract, didn't he?
Yeah.
And now he's drafted to Raw. So what?
It transfers.
Yeah. But I wish they would have talked about it more.
Right.
I wish they would have been like, oh, Pierce steals one from Aldis.
Right.
But so I think they could have built it up a little bit more than they did.
But maybe maybe that SmackDown contract just makes him,
maybe just brought him up to the main roster.
Yeah, and now you're free.
Now you're draft eligible.
Yeah.
Round 3, LA Knight Bloodline to the SmackDown. I love that they're without Roman. Bloodline dropped to third round.
Yeah,
that's not going to go over well.
No.
And then Ricochet and Sheamus to Raw.
That was good.
Yeah, I like Ricochet, what he's doing on Raw. He's their workhorse on Raw, and I'm happy with that.
Totally.
And of course, you got to keep the people together.
I mean, it's a 3-hour show. You need Ricochet.
Yeah, you need Ricochet. SmackDown 4th round, AJ Styles and Andrade. I kind of hate
AJ
they
Styles
fell
in the 4th round.
I hate they fell. Yeah, you're the number 1 contender, and you're the 4th round. Like that doesn't.
That's a first round.
That doesn't help. Pick. That doesn't help your chances.
I'm building a whole show around the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Alpha Academy and Kiana James go to Raw. The reaction from NXT when Kiana James got called was amazing. I love that all these people get called up as heels. And they got to be like, I'm so happy for the opportunity, but also be like, but I mean, I'm coming for you.
But yeah, I earned this.
Like Blair Davenport, she is one of the biggest heels in the women's roster on NXT. Like ruthless. That's her gimmick is she is a heel, and she was still like happy. Like it was nice to see.
Yeah.
And then Raw, their draft Imperium goes first. Sans Da Vinci.
Well, I mean, of course, we kicked him out. He's done.
Damage Control, also the 1st round pick for Raw. Jade and KO going to SmackDown. Love that KO was a 1st round draft pick.
Gotta be. Earned it.
You
deserve it.
Make him the face that runs the place on SmackDown.
That'd be great.
Punk and Strowman to Raw in round 2. The Pride and Tiffany Stratton to stand on SmackDown in round 2. So no one changed brands. I think that's what got people is you kick off the draft. First 2 rounds, no one goes anywhere.
Yeah.
At least hit us with some shakeups.
At least
right from the get-go.
Right.
Like, oh, wow. Blah, blah, blah is going to blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Round 3, LWO to Raw, as well as Drew McIntyre. CM Punk's on Raw. Drew can't go nowhere. Mm-mm. We need this. Can you imagine how things are going so well? Can you imagine if you just yank CM Punk and Drew McIntyre away from us?
I'm going to watch Raw every week now.
Because of them.
Yeah.
SmackDown gets Legato and Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura is a 3rd round pick, and AJ Styles was a 4th round pick.
And we all know what happened there. Time and time.
And then we also know their recent record. Shinsuke hadn't won since 2019, I feel like, at this point.
Right.
Round 4, Judgment Day. I do love Damian Priest. Gave him a little crap. But like, without me, you fall to the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
Nice of you to join me. So they're putting a lot of distance between Judgment Day and Priest. Not distance, but tension.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it because I'm getting the big vibes early on. Priest getting too big for his britches.
Yeah.
And that's cool. A champ that gets too big for their britches never ends well. New Day and Lyra for round 4. Naomi and Chelsea and Piper go to SmackDown.
Yep.
And Ilya Dragunov comes to Raw. So I like Chelsea and Piper going to SmackDown. That freshens them up a little bit. They've gotten beat by everyone on Raw pretty much. And I'm so excited for Ilya Dragunov in the main roster.
Yeah, and it was great to see Trick Williams so pumped for him.
Yeah, but he also is like, y'all watch out. He gonna kick you in the face. Yep. Because they had some wars.
Mm-hmm.
Round 5, New Day, Lyra Valkyria coming to Raw. Pretty Deadly, yes, boy. And Candice and Indy going to SmackDown.
What do you think happens with Lyra Valkyria? Lyra Valkyria.
I think she gets a couple winnable feuds, and then we get her and Becky on the main roster.
You think so?
Like a long feud.
You think her personality, character, you think that's going to...
I think that's going to be her big test.
Yeah.
Because I can definitely see her name on a released talent list in a couple of years if this doesn't pan out.
Valkyria.
I haven't been excited about her in NXT.
I know.
Out of all the women in NXT, she's not on the...
I almost feel like they're moving her up to like be like, all right,
sure, sink or swim.
like sure you're good, but are you a star?
Yeah. And then the final round, Final Testament, Bronson Reed, Raw. Love Final Testament's coming to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to see them and Judgment Day clash a little bit.
That'd be great.
DIY going to SmackDown. I like that. Freshens up the tag a little bit because they can't do anything on Raw.
Just no more cowboy hats.
No more DX stuff. Like that goes away now.
Yeah.
And then Blair Davenport getting drafted as well. Loved seeing her and that response. And then after did you see the list of the people that went where after the fact?
No.
Isla Dawn and Alba Fire go to Raw, as well as Odyssey Jones, Dijak. Interesting.
I like
to see what they
Dijak.
do
Where'd
with
he
that.
go?
He went to Raw.
Nice.
Carter and Chance are on Raw. Natalia, Diamond Mind are on Raw with Chad Gable.
See, why wouldn't they give Dijak his moment?
Yeah, we found out social media after the fact. I'm worried they're bringing him up to be a jobber then, if they're not even going to blast.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Zero fanfare. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark also going to Raw. Did not hear them mentioned one bit. And Ivar. Poor Ivar. He's on Raw. SmackDown gets Apollo Crews, Giovanni Vinci, Tegan Knox, Cedric and Ashanti, Baron Corbin. So no chance of us getting Baron and Braun on the tag team on the main roster. And then the OC also going to SmackDown. So that was...
Okay, that's a good call.
Divvied out. I also was kind of hoping Chelsea Green and the OC were going NXT it for a little bit. So I was a little bummed to see their names on the draft board.
Well, when the OC going to SmackDown, AJ Styles is on SmackDown.
Finally get that.
Little reunion.
Yeah, finally. Well, I think he's done with them. I want to see... I would love to see an AJ Styles Carl Anderson match. Though, that they can put on a banger.
Yeah, bring those guys up. Make them one-on-one players.
I would love for... Nah, it's just too much. You know how you get into your fantasy booking head and then you're like, nah, it'd be a cluster.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking after whatever happens, like if Uncle Howdy's new faction goes after Cody, then the OC comes out to check on AJ.
Yeah.
And then they beat up AJ.
Oh, yeah.
But that might be just too much.
That might be too much.
And then I really like AJ as a heel. I don't really want him to be a face. No. I like the mysterious man, lone wolf.
Yeah, just a dude from Georgia. Just a
dude from Georgia.
Just an angry
Georgia. Angry redneck.
Just an angry Georgia boy.
He's got a lot of opinions.
Who can relate
to
that?
In a truck. Got any final parting thoughts? What are you looking forward to?
I'm excited for a SmackDown from France. I'm excited for a PLE from France. A little afternoon action. I think that, no title's going to change hands.
Yeah, I don't really see anybody setting up to take down. If anything, I can see Street Profits winning the titles on SmackDown.
I could see that. I could see a massive fan appearance, superstar appearance.
Yeah. Well, who's a French celebrity?
Maybe a legend. I could see a legendary superstar popping up.
I'm trying to think who.
I don't know who would.
France.
I don't know who would be good. Maybe Cena. I could see Cena popping up.
The French Quebecers. The Quebecers come back. PCO.
Yeah, maybe Cena. I don't know, but
I can't think of any French like.
Not me either.
Like Rick the Model. He just always.
What was the La Resistance?
Yeah.
Maybe a La Resistance.
People are gonna be like, "Who are you?"
Yeah. Be like, did you not watch in the 2004s?
And then the Dudley Boys come out and say, "Get the tables and all this."
I mean, Dudley Boys are back.
Enjoy that for the draft.
But
Devon looks like that man needs to be absolutely nowhere
Near
near
a
a wrestling
table.
ring.
Yeah, near a table. Yeah.
Bubba looks like he can go to today,
Yeah.
but Devon looks like he's just,
Yeah, they've been
he's stiff.
I mean, you seen those videos?
I don't know how anyone who spent any time in ECW in the
You
90s
can still walk.
is alive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Rob Van Dam has just replaced all of his blood with THC at this point, so that's how he's just walking around.
Yeah.
But, man, some of those matches just... I was going back, just now that we know what we know, like, going back and watching some 90s wrestling where they're just chair shot after chair shot, you're like...
Right.
It used to be the norm, and we used to not
Mhm.
think anything of it, but now you're like, oh, my goodness, man.
What are your parting thoughts?
I'm excited to see the storyline shift. I feel like we're doing the big sifter right now. I'm excited to see where everything lands.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going after what? I want to see who Awesome Truth's #1 contenders are. Like what tag team's going after them. Do Street Profits win? Do A-Town Down win? Where do they go? I want to see how Final Testament establishes themselves on Raw. I really like that faction, and I really like the Pride. Did not like them together, so I'm excited to see what they do. LWO and Legato's finally away from each other. Indy and Candice are finally away from Maxine. Like, all of these feuds that we were just getting week after week after week, they're done.
Yeah.
So now we get a refresher. We get to hit the old refresh button in the window. I'm excited to see what feuds we get going forward. So I think you're right. I think they're going to do something big in France.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Hoping it's Uncle Howdy. But we'll see.
We
Either
will
way, I'm
see.
going to be watching.
Tune in this weekend on Saturday at 1 Eastern.
And hit that subscribe button. Check out all of Project Nerds. Great content. We appreciate you guys so much for listening, watching, sharing us, liking, commenting, all that good stuff. We'll see you next week.